What's up, everybody? It's the Slickster, the Silver Fox Entertainment. I figured I'd go ahead and give y'all a couple more chapters of this book, Life in the Blues. If you see this video and you like what you saw, please hit the like button. I think I got about 15 or 16 of them up there. Check me out. My hashtag is Prison Blues. It's all caps, 16.10. Check me out. Took off in Forged in Fire is where we left off, so I'm going to take off in sections called Beef. It says, beef is an everyday occurrence in prison, especially if you're a somebody in a sea of nobodies, and it's almost a guarantee that you will have to deal with it at some point of your bid. Let me give you a few pointers so you'll know what to be expected. A fight and a beef are not the same thing. A fight usually happens spur of the moment. Note, Myceli Sonny Boy Owens, rest in peace, once said, 9 out of 10 times the first lick is always the winner. So if you think you're about to get beat up, pop off like ejector seats. If you're outmatched, outgunned, I suggest that you strap up. Strap up is, when you're getting ready to go to beef, you have your weapon with you, whatever that might be. It says a beef is more like a Cold War. Sometimes it's not about who you are or where you're from. It's more about who you know. Different people in different places deal with beef differently, but prison beef is a different kind of animal. Shit can get real deep, real fast. Out on the streets is more room to roam, so unless you or your enemy are looking for each other, then the probability of seeing each other is way lower. But there is no duck and wreck in prison. There are a few things that should be taken into consideration when dealing with beef in prison. 1, what color are you? 2, where are you from? 3, are you in a gang? 4, what are you locked up for? Any of all of these things will help you or hurt you depending on who you are beefing with. If you're a social outcast for something you did in the past, then you have a higher probability of becoming a victim. If you're a SO, sex offender, and you get into a beef and you feel for your life, then you might as well just pack your stuff and check in or check out. Check in is leave the pod. Check out, they're both leaving the pod. Checking in is using the police to do it. Checking out is, doing it on your own accord. Pretty much going to the hole either way. Let me be honest with you, and a lot of people reading this book are not going to agree, but they want you to believe that that place is so violent that the survival rate is non-existent. But I got news for you. You can survive. I'm living proof. I'm writing this book from a prison cell. I'm always going to give it to you raw and real because I want you to survive. I want you to thrive. Fact. Prisoners are not really trying to beef or fight in prison. It's true. You have a better chance of getting killed, and that's real. Does that sound crazy? Well, let me explain. Do not get it twisted or tangled. What does a deadhead or all day or an L note or even 50 years have to lose? Deadhead is somebody that has a natural life sentence that is not going home. All day is the same thing. Somebody that, is not going home from prison. And an L note is abbreviation for life note. So all three of those things, if you deal with somebody, they're in a whole different mindset than you are. So you go in here with 3, 4, 5 years and you want to be a tough guy, believe me, there's somebody in there that's got something for your ass that ain't never going home. And he might be trying to get his rep up anyways. One of these young dudes come in there all big like this, they love that. They try to deflate them with everything they can. It says nothing. So they are an exception to what I'm about to say. Any physical altercation in prison resulting in broken bones, stab wounds, or even a bloody nose can and will be turned into a street charge. Street charge is another felony. So let's just say you go in there with 5 years, 5-year serve sentence. Let's say you got 5 years over your head, and you get into it with somebody over the TV in the pod, or over a soup, or over a microwave line, or some dumb shit. You square up, you knock his tooth out, give him a black eye, whatever. That stuff's on camera. It doesn't even matter nowadays if that person doesn't want to press charges against you. They don't even need that person to even go to court for you. All they'll do is they'll run up the eye in the sky, attach it to your name and your state number, hit the rewind button, see what happened, and they'll play that in court. And guess what? Here's another thing. You don't even have to go to court anymore. They got the telemeds in the back of the prison. They will walk you over there, do a video just like this, and give your ass 5 years of your backup time, and you never even left the pod. They save money in gas. They save money in COs driving you around. They save money on everything. They love that type of stuff. It's job security for them, especially if you're like somebody that's kind of laid back and just got into some shit, because then they know the probability of that is way lower. It says, yes, the COs will be instructed to drive you to a local courthouse or to serve you more felonies. I wrote this, before the technology had really evolved to the point of how it is now. So I give it to you raw anyway, so it doesn't matter. It says, in fact, most COs say that they love getting paid to drive around, and none of them mind you staying in prison for longer because it's job security. The judge can give you some, any, or all of that suspended sentence you have hanging over your head from the other side of a Skype or a video chat. So if you come in here with a little 5-year bid, feel like you're a tough guy, get into a fight and beat someone to death, you're not going home. Ever. Ever. It says, just imagine the look in your mother's face when you tell her at your visitation that you're not coming home because you let some clown get you out of your square. Just imagine your son or daughter's voice crack on the phone when you tell them that you're not coming home. It says, the DOC has a cell with your name on it, literally. Long-term segregation in a prison that they call Red Onion, ROSP. A place where the COs are big and they're well known for saying, we're from Big Stone Gap and we come to work to catch our wreck. These are corn-fed country white boys. They don't care what color you are. If you're a white dude that's street, if you're a black dude, that you don't have to do nothing. All you gotta do is just be black. That's enough for them to whoop your ass. Dudes like me, I go to them higher levels, they hate me like that because I'm just a little too street for them. If you ain't talking about hunting or fishing, you know, you duct tape. That's it. That's how they live. It says, not everyone that enters exits. And that was a notation. I still need to fit it in there. Okay, so that's the beef section. I'm going to go right here into tattoos. Okay, got 6 minutes. It says, tattoos have a strange dynamic in prison. Some are worn as badges of honor and some are worn as decorations. Some tell stories of the past, present, and future, while others tell story of who we are, what we've been through, or what we're striving for. Do not judge a book by its cover. Note, if you are going to get tattooed while you're in prison, please take my advice. Pick a concept for a big area so you don't come out looking like a patchwork quilt. And I'm guilty of that because I wasn't thinking about that shit when I was young. Yeah, put that here, put this here, do this here, whatever, right? It says, always make sure that you always get a new needle and barrel. If possible, watch him make your needle so there's no fuckery involved. Make sure he doesn't recycle ink neither. Always make sure the artist wears gloves. If you can't get gloves, saran wrap or sandwich bags will work in a pinch. It's always crazy to me personally when I see pro-white guys completely covered in tattoos because they've changed their overall appearances with black ink. That's a big thing in there. A lot of them dudes that are really, really about that pro-white stuff, they won't even put nothing on their skin because they feel like it's disrespectful. Note, be leery of white guys with big black ink spots covering up their tattoos because tattoos don't lie. That actually kind of goes for everybody. Anybody that's in there. A lot of times when they have a tattoo that's like a cover-up and it's a big ink spot, it's probably because they were down with like a set or a clique or like a squad of dudes and something happened, like some wild stuff, and they pulled up on them and was like, you got to cover that up. Probably 15 to 20% of the money that most tattoo artists make in prison is making people cover up tattoos. Like, that's real. And when the gang members pull up 3-4 deep on the tattoo man and say, hey, look, man, we're going to go dust this dude off and then we're going to drag his unconscious body over here to the cell. We need you to tattoo for him. It's a bad job because at the end of the day, you kind of have to do it because you're obligated because they're counting on you to be the one to cover it up. But there's actually like some clout that goes with it too. But it's just really hard because when you knock somebody out and you drag them, technically you're kidnapping them. And then if you take that and you drag somebody into your cell, they're kidnapping them. And then if the door shuts, you're kidnapping them. So all of those things can lead up to like a real serious situation. So it has to be done a certain kind of way. It says, a lot of gangbangers have tattoos including what gang they're in and what set they rep. I respect it for what it is, but I never really understood why you would allow a civilian or the police to know that you're affiliated. But, I mean, they rep it, man. That's just how it is. That's just life in there. Gang members, they got big B's, big C's, GDs, stars, all these different things on them that mean all these different things to them, and it's heartfelt to them, so they don't really mind. And there's a power in that, too, One thing, I put a little note right here. 2 things. It says, always remember one thing. A good tattoo isn't cheap, and a cheap tattoo isn't good. Just because you get a good deal doesn't mean that it's a good thing. And another thing, if you see a man with a 13.5 tattoo on him, it means 12 jurors, 1 judge, and half a chance in hell. Okay? Let's see, 9 minutes. The weight pit. The weight pit is a designated area of the rec yard where dumbbells, barbells, pull-up, dip bars, weight benches are stored. Anyone can go there during rec, but it is definitely a use-at-your-own-risk situation. If you are into staying in shape like I was, then it was a great idea to join a pre-existing crew or to start one of your own. The main reason is obvious, strength in numbers. There are only so many weights to work out with, so if your whole building recs together, then getting at a limited amount of weights will be a struggle. And an option presents itself to get people to join your crew that live in different pods. then you'd better jump on it, because the probability of you getting the weights you need will be higher. If you have money, you can also pay a rec worker to set up your station or hold the weight for you until you get there. Note, most men will use their size and weightlifting ability to make people believe that they are tough, but there's an old saying, muscles big, heart small. That's like a term that's mostly exchanged by a lot of old heads. It's kind of like slowly fading out of the system, you know? Always remember that prison is an extremely primal place, so if you have beef with someone, you might not want to go to the weight pit. Steel and skulls don't mix. It is always a good idea to keep your eyes and ears open at all times, because you never know what's going on with guys from other pods. The last thing you want is for something to jump off while you're laying on a weight bench holding 200 pounds above you. It is the responsibility of your workout partner to watch your back when you're in a compromising position. That's what part of the workout crew is. You know, there's so many different wild things that can be happening at any time in there. You know, you'd be down, you know, pushing 225 pounds off your chest with the guy standing behind you, and, you know, you didn't know that the other guy on the next bench over has got beef with somebody. Somebody goes over there, knocks him sideways with a dumbbell, or stabs him while he's on the bench, or, you know, doing pull-ups or something like that. So you have to have your head on a swivel when you're on the weight pit. Another thing, too, is, I mean, it's not as big of a deal now because they had took the tobacco out in 2010, but there was also like almost like an unspoken, but people would speak on it sometime, was no smoking on the weight pit. There's just something about it that dudes just don't like when they're there trying to, like, get their mind right and stuff. They don't want to be breathing in no cigarette smoke. So if this was, like, 2009 and this book had came out, I would tell people, hey, don't do that. But it's just another thing that faded away in the time that I was in there. It says, you will never know what's going on. You never know what you're going to hear on the weight pit, so have your mental Rolodex ready. Stick to the code. See all, tell none. Omerta. All right, 11 minutes. Transfers. Usually the same month you went to the DOC, that's Department of Corrections, counselor in receiving will conduct your annual review. When you leave receiving, you will get to prison, you will be assigned a new counselor. Try to befriend him or her as best as you can. It's the counselor's job to keep track of what you do or don't do, and believe me, they will hold it against you. These facts will factor into your annual review. If you stay charge-free, the following case plan they will assign to you, and you will have the opportunity to get transferred to another prison with a lower security. But you can also level up too. The higher you go, the shorter the leash. Literally. They put leashes on you at some of the Supermaxes. They lock your hands together and your ankles together, and they put a dog leash on your ankles so they can snatch their feet out from under you. I said something about that in one of the past videos, too, if you paid attention. It says, note, your counselor will allow you to pick 3 places your security points will allow. Don't be surprised if you don't get any. That is like, let's just say you score level 3 points and you go up for an annual review and they're getting ready to drop you down to a level 2. They'll say, hey, where are you from, or, you know, where do you want to go? So they'll be like, okay, well, here's a list of 10 level 2s. Write down 3 of them. But a lot of times, they already have a pretty good idea, like, where you're going to go, because it's just about bed space. But if it's one of them times where you fall in like, a mass movement, then sometimes they'll send you, like, where you want to go. Like, if you were like, I'm from Tidewater, they're going to try to put you in a prison that's closer to Tidewater, because they're like, he's going to be there with his homeboys. They don't want to take you and send you all the way out west where they're, you know, it's crazy how it works sometimes, but they try to keep those type of people, like, together, you know? It says, note, make sure that you pack up all your personal clothes, minus thermal tops or jackets if it's cold, because if you try transferring with them, the SEALs will throw them in the trash. If they come to your door and they say, hey, pack your stuff, you're getting transferred, put all that shit in the box except for what you're wearing. And make sure that what you have is allowed in the next compound. So, like, if you're getting transferred from a level 3 to a 4 or a 5, a level 3 allows you to buy jeans, but level 4s and level 5s, they don't let you get that. So if you know you're going because of your points, a level 4 or level 5, either sell the jeans or give them to somebody else. Because at the end of the day, you're thinking that you're going to be able to take them with you when you walk out of there. But they're going to bring you to another room, and they're going to change you out into an orange jumpsuit anyways. And then all your jeans are just going in the trash. So you might as well give them to your homeboy or, like, your celly or somebody that you fuck with. It says, if you keep your nose clean, and you can gain good time, but it's a two-way street. If you mess up, you can lose it too. The best that you can earn right at the moment is 85%, but the thing that actually got me out of prison earlier and late at the same time, I mean, you guys already know the count on that, but it went to 65% for non-violent felony. So if you have a 10-year bid, you do 6.5, but you got to stay charge-free for the whole time, which is pretty much impossible in prison, so good luck on that, but it's important to at least try. It says, note, they cannot take any of the good time you've already earned. They can't do that. If you get to an annual review and they give you an update sheet of what your release date is, they can't take time away from that. But what another thing too is what they've been trying to do, and they've been getting away with it. Like even at Greensville, dudes were coming from level 2s and level 2s from knife charges, and they were coming straight to the hole from one compound to another compound, which is some bullshit too. But that's how they do it. And then while you're in the hole, they'll be like, "Oh, we're taking 15 days of your good time," and dudes still sign for it. This is why this book right here is so important, man, is for you to pay attention to this type of stuff so you know what they can and can't do. Because they will try you. They will present things a certain kind of way to you to make you believe that it's all good. As soon as you sign that piece of paper, you're duct taped. There is no going back. You can fight it. You can send this here, get your people to call here, da-da-da-da-da-da. The people are going to reach out to the people that had you incarcerated, that were holding you, like holding your body, and they're going to say, hey, da-da-da-da, did he do this? Oh, yeah, he signed right here. Enough said. That's it. That's all they need to take. Okay. Always keep a vigilant eye on people you know that have already been approved for transfers. Okay, look, a lot of times people, when they're about to get transferred, they don't even tell anybody. They keep it a secret. And that's because a lot of dudes are just wired with dope fiend larceny, and they got fuckboy shit with them. They'll just do a bunch of wild stuff, you know? So, but it's also important that if somebody does say, hey, I'm getting ready to go up for a transfer, you just be mindful of that. Keep everything in your mental Rolodex. It says, depending on what that person is into will directly dictate how closely you should watch them. If he gets high, for example, he might try running up bills with the dope man with hopes that he gets transferred before he has to pay. That way he can cop more drugs when he gets to where he's going. Kind of like a 2-for-1 situation. 2-for-1 is like him getting 2 for his $1. So he going to use the same Cash App here at Greensville and send somebody $200 and pretend that he's going to, and then not tell he get the drugs and put them in his pocket, and then or in his ass or whatever, and then he goes to another compound, takes them out of his ass, and he spends that same $200. That's the type of stuff that people be doing. The system has its own economy, even though it's really small. Money owed should be paid. Believe me, it matters. More often than not, when someone is told to pack up, they will give the money that is owed to them to one of their friends or business associates. This happens all the time. It's another form of where they say stand a straightening. It's like another form of that. So what'll happen is, like, if I owe somebody named Joe some money, and they tell me, hey, you're getting packed up, you're getting ready to leave, like, you know, pack your shit. So what will happen is, no, Joe owes me money, my bad. So Joe owes me some money, and they tell me I'm packing up. So what I do is I go to one of my buddies and say, hey, come over here. He comes over there in front of Joe, and I say, hey, look, that money that you owed me, you give it to him. That happens all the time in there. And it 100% happens if you're dealing with gang members, because they're like a family. You know what I'm saying? They're not letting one dude get away with none of that. It's like highly respected in there, man. The gang life in there is like, that shit's real. It says, the only people that don't respect this move are the people that owe the money. That's what it is, because they get mad. Oh, damn, that's fucked up. Da, 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 da. I personally love it, because I hate hearing about guys getting away. It is customary for the person that is owed to bring both parties together and introduce them. So if the person that owes tries to buck, there's no room for bullshit when it comes time to pay, and they get their ass whooped behind that. It says, as a man, it is your responsibility to pay your debts. In the grand scheme of things, does it really matter who gets the money? Just pay it. A person pending transfer may also try running up store box bills with the store man with hopes that he'll be gone before having to pay. So what that is I know I'm getting transferred. I don't tell anybody, and I have a feeling that it might happen in a month, like especially if you're going down. Sometimes when you're going up too. So I'll wait until about 2.5 weeks, and then I'll run up store box bills with 2 or 3 or 4 different store boxes in the pod, and wait till it gets to all the way down to the worst part as it could possibly be. And then, hey, they're gonna come tell me that I'm packing up to leave. I'm gonna pack my stuff and leave and walk right out of there, owing everybody. That's the type of stuff that happens in there. It says, another reason you should keep an eye on someone getting transferred is because they might try to steal off on someone before they leave or after they pack up, before they take it with them, after they give it to their friends. Plus, it is if you're involved in a cold war with someone, then they might try attacking them before they leave. That happens all the time, too. If a dude already knows that he's getting transferred and it's already been approved because there's people called Richmond, he'll be like, you know what? This dude right here, I didn't like that shit that he did to me a couple weeks ago. So they wait until the morning that they're about to get packed up. They pack their stuff, put it by the door. They walk back into the pod, just hang out, act like they're saying bye to somebody, walk by somebody, knock them straight out. Whop! Hit him with the one-hitter quitter. He ain't even see it coming. Knock him right out, and then dude walk back over to the front booth, say, open the front door. They grab his stuff, throw it over his bed, and just walk out. It happens all the time because it's too late. They're there to get you. There is no going back. You know what I'm saying? Now, don't get it twisted. Go back to what I said before. You break somebody's jaw or something on your way out, they have you on video, but that's what dudes do to try to get away, Another interesting occurrence is the fact that people tell secrets before leaving. That is a bad one too, man. I'm telling you, some people enjoy the idea of leaving waves of chaos in their wakes. People also poison their well on their way out. Be ready for anything. Okay, the secrets thing is really, really bad because if somebody knows something about somebody else, but nobody else knows that, sometimes they'll like feed that information to like a couple people on the way out. Maybe people they fuck with, maybe people they hate. Sometimes people tell secrets to complete strangers because they know that that stranger is going to go pass it around to like other people, and then somehow, some kind of way, it will actually get back to the person that the secret was about. That shit happens all the time, dude. It's crazy. Poison the well is pretty much just like throwing dirt on someone's name on the way out. It's like, hey, do you remember when such and such happened? Yeah, I remember that. Hey, look, man, well, this actually did happen. And they'd be like, oh, shit, for real? I'd be like, yes, that happens all the time. It says, I know everything I just told you about transfer seems really dark. Well, wake the fuck up. You're in a place full of crooks. Crooks that literally wake up and think about their next lick. Lick is like another word for robbery if you don't know what that is. They wake up and they're like, how can I get some money today? Who can I scam? What can I do? Dope fiend larceny is deep. I said, but there are people in here that aren't like that. People like me. I have literally paid my debts from the hole by yelling out the window, and I've paid debts of others when they went to the hole. The real question is, who will you be in prison? And that's it, man. That's what I'm going to give you right now. It's been 20 minutes. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, man, get on there and check out some of my other videos. Y'all got to hit them like buttons. You know, I mean, you don't have to, but I mean, if it's fly, just hit the button. It ain't hurting you, right? I mean, I'm trying to get these numbers up right now, but I'm really close to getting this thing published, man. I already got the publisher in line. I'm working on doing like the final of it. And then what I'm really, the game plan is going to be is I want to do the audio for this. So that's why I've been doing like the narration the way that I've been doing it, because when this thing all the way gets to the end, all I have to do is just record the audio from every video that I've made. And that way I can make it like an audio file. Because I mean, it might be cool for some people to sit here and look at me telling the story, because sometimes I'm a little animated and passionate about it. But at the end of the day, I think that it's flyer to just be like driving down the street, not having to look at anything and just hitting the play button. You know what I'm saying? Plus I want to put it on the JPay system so that way dudes in prison can buy it too. Even though they're already in prison, dudes know me, so it would just be fly for them to sit back and just, because some of these things, when I get into this, like, this is Life in the Blues, and there's still the other book, Life in the Black, comes after this. So this one right here, I mean, I'm not going to tell you obviously where it ends, but just know that there's still a whole nother prison book after this one. And the other one after this one, it goes even deeper, like, because it's more real life situations. See, this one had to generate itself as like organically as possible, because I was writing these things as they were happening and trying to like put them in there and formulate it. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to save everybody watching these videos the time that it took in the years and months and PTSD and getting knocked on the head and seeing this happen and understanding these things. I'm trying to program you to the best of my abilities as quick as possible, because I don't know if you're going in, and I don't know how quick it is going to happen if you are going in. So, you know, it is what it is, man. I just, I'll just drop the mic on it right here, and I'll catch up with y'all later on. The next section was going to be called Handshakes, which is really important in prison too. Y'all have a good afternoon, and as you can see, it's down here in Virginia. It's cold as shit right now, but the sun is banging. Later.